The City of Columbia's strategic plan 2016 to 2019 is only in its sophomore year, but it is never a bad time to give you a progress report. In an ABC 17 News special report, we are checking in with some of the people behind the plan and whether or not it's making a difference.
You know, I grew up pretty rough. I grew up in foster care. I was abandoned.
Corey Crosby started life in Columbia with the odds stacked against him. Seeing no opportunities for a future,
I decided one day, instead of going to work, that I was going to rob a convenience store.
Corey did 8.5 years and then decided to get his life together and open a business in Columbia. But since Corey is a convicted felon, his license application was rejected by the city. He refused to give up this time. Corey appealed the decision.
We were part of the problem, and we didn't realize it.
Strategic partner Jim Witt called city manager Mike Mathis
and said, hey, you've got a problem. You automatically say no on the business license side to folks that we ought to be giving second chances to.
Corey won his appeal and opened his gym and personal training business in 2016.
They helped out a lot.
Mathis says helping people like Corey touches two key priorities of the strategic plan: economy and social equity. Infrastructure, public safety, and operational excellence round out the five.
Who was they shooting at?
Public safety is often at the top of everyone's list of what they expect from the city. Most residents know Columbia is dozens of officers shy for a city its size, which should be closer to 200. Instead, it has...
There are 169 sworn officers.
Do you think police department is too command staff heavy?
I don't think the police department's got too much command staff. You know, our problem is, so you have to have a certain amount of management to operate any function. And they have, in my opinion, the minimum to do it.
City spokesman Steve Sapp says additional officers isn't as simple as it sounds.
What are the ancillary positions we need to support those police officers? So if we add additional officers, that means that they have additional fleet vehicles. So we may need to hire additional fleet mechanics. They file additional reports, so we may need additional records clerks.
Despite the smaller than desired officer count, Mathis is still a firm believer in community policing.
The people who've had community policing services, their number of calls to 911 have gone down. There are fewer aggravated assaults. There are fewer rapes. There are fewer property crimes.
I asked Mathis and city spokesman Steve Sapp to share the numbers on which the city bases these claims, and I received a report that was compiled last February. It shows some of Mathis's claims to be true, but a mixed bag on other issues. So I pulled crime reports for January through September for the whole city. Aggravated assaults are up from the previous 2 years. Rapes have increased as well. Property crimes have increased from last year but are slightly down from 2015. Despite the data, many residents agree there are still too many shootings and other gun crimes in Columbia. Mathis says although they may seem random and are certainly a concern, nearly all those gun crimes involve drugs and drug dealers.
Being a drug dealer, for example, you have a massive target on your back. Everybody knows that you have cash and the drugs. So you're this amazing target, and you're probably going to get killed.
That doesn't satisfy everyone's concerns about violence. As ABC 17's Lucas Geisler recently reported, homicides in Columbia hit a 12-year high, and the number of unsolved homicides is growing. Mathis puts some of that responsibility back on the community, more specifically, uncooperative witnesses.
It is the biggest problem we have in solving crimes. Now, I'm proud of our department. We solve a greater percentage of crimes in most cities. But what keeps us from making an arrest in 2 of the homicide events we've had this year, we haven't made arrests in. And the reason we haven't is no one involved will talk to us.
Columbia's spokesman says employment plays a vital role in all aspects of the strategic plan, pointing out that Columbia has one of the lowest unemployment rates in the country.
You know, we see too many families still having to work 2, sometimes 3 jobs just to make enough money to support their family. And so, you know, when they're doing that, they're not able to spend that quality time with the family, so they're not able to help their children with homework. They're not able to get their children to school events. They're not there to parent.
While the city says it continues to work on seeing the strategic plan exercised, Corey continues to run his business and pull himself up and out of poverty and life on the other side of the law.
It's about what we choose to do with what we're given, you know. We can make an excuse out of anything, you know.
But you say no faking, no fear, and no excuses.
That's my motto.
And you mean it.
I mean it.
You can read the strategic plan and see the full results of the city's most recent update by visiting our website at abc17news.com.